Mr. Gachagua, when we announced that we were having this interview, we received overwhelming feedback from many Kenyans, including those on social media, and many asked why we are talking to a tribalist tonight.
Narratives are created in this country, and my former boss, William Ruto, is a master of narratives. He's very good. And when he's okay with you and you are friends, he says nice things about you. When I and him were getting along, when I was assisting to be president, he had very kind words about Rigathi Gachagua, a great mobilizer, a people's man, a great strategist, a man who loves the people, a man who cares about the people issues. But the minute we fell out, he labeled me as a tribalist. And it's something that he has been preaching in every meeting so that he can justify to the people of Kenya why, after I helped to make him president, he hounded me out of office. He had to create a narrative because he had to come with something that can sell. Yvonne, the man before you is a great nationalist. He's a man who loves Kenya, who has never uttered anything negative against another community. He loves his community, yes, but that does not mean he hates other communities. I would challenge anybody with a single utterance that Rigathi Gachagua has ever made against another community. And if you want to know that this man is a nationalist, against all odds, when Uhuru Kenyatta, my kinsman and my former boss, wanted me to support Raila Odinga, and he is my kinsman. Had I been tribal, I would have listened to Uhuru Kenyatta. I went ahead to support William Ruto. When I supported William Ruto, I knew he's not a Kikuyu, he's not Embu, he's not Meru, he's a Kalenjin. But I did support him. And my community, the one that I had, supported him to a man. In fact, we gave him 87% of our votes. And the other 13%, there was another guy from Kikuyu called Okwara. We didn't give him the 13%. We gave 13% to Raila Odinga alone. That tells you that Rigathi Gachagua and his people are not tribal. William Ruto and his community, how many votes did they give Raila Odinga? None. All their votes went to their man, their kinsman. But us, we gave 13% to Aluo, we gave 87% to a Kalenjin. And it's not that we did not know. We were quite conscious that they don't speak our language.
Mr. Gachagua, the people who are calling you a tribalist and those who are calling you an ethnic extremist are Kenyans. So I'm talking about the feedback that viewers, ordinary Kenyans from all walks of life.
Of course.
I want to give some context to what some of your critics say. You've just returned from the United States, where you were there for about a month and a half.
Yes.
And you addressed people from Mount Kenya. From your itinerary, we also noted that you met people from other communities as well.
Yes, I did.
The Kisis in Minnesota.
Yes, I did.
We're told also you met the Kambas in
Yes.
Washington, D.C.
Yes, I did.
And I'm not sure, but the Somalis also?
Yes, I did.
You met them?
Yes.
I'm not sure where that was. But Mr. Gachagua, some would ask then, why are you comfortable meeting Kenyans along tribal lines as opposed to their nationality?
Yvonne, there are no Kenyans who sit somewhere as Kenyans. If you go to the United States, people have community organizations that were not established by Rigathi. I've not been to America for a long time. But when you go to America, you find the people from the mountain have their own organization. The Abagusi have their own organization. The Ma have their own organization. The Kamba people have their own organization. The Mlembe nation have their own organization. And let me tell you, Yvonne, let people not pretend that communities don't sit together and talk the same language. God, in his own wisdom, created people with an identical language. And people tend to congregate around each other to discuss their issues. So when the Abagusi community invites me to address them in the United States, Do I tell them I cannot meet you until you call the Kambas and you call the Maasais and you call the
Why
others?
not? Why not, Mr. Gachagua?
Why should I?
Why not meet them as a group of Kenyans, as nationalists, as patriots?
But I'm asking, I attend those meetings on invitation. You don't go to arrange people how to invite you. You own an invitation. If the Abagusi people say, come, first and foremost, I went to Baltimore, and the Abagusi people said, tomorrow is Sabbath day. Can you come and join us in church? I did. And when I was there in church, there was an interpreter. The preacher of the day was preaching in English, but there was an interpreter in Abagusi, because those people speak their language. And by the way, Yvonne, let nobody feel embarrassed about speaking the language. Even the preamble of the Constitution acknowledges the ethnic diversity of the Kenyan nation and why people must be proud of where they come from. And that is why you find the Abagusi are in a church in Baltimore, and there is an interpreter to interpret the sermon in the Kisii language. That is the nature of the Kenyan nation. Mr. And there's nothing Rigathi can do about it.
Mr. Gachagua, you are I imagine you think of yourself as a national leader.
Yes, I
right?
am.
You are the former deputy president of the entire Republic of Kenya.
Yes.
As a leader, you say, you get an invitation. But even after all of that, as a national leader, do you not think you have the influence to speak to people and say that I'd like to meet all of you as Kenyans, because in as much as people organize based on where they come from and the language they speak, that is
Kenyans.
fair. Mr. Gachagua.
Sorry.
In as much as people speak the languages they do and come from the regions that they do, but there are some common shared national problems that they would have. Why not organize them or congregate them as Kenyans and then listen to their collective issues, which you can then try to seek to address?
That's exactly what we did. I had two types of meetings. I had town hall meetings for all Kenyans across 4 communities. Then there were communities that invited me for meetings to discuss issues that are unique to those communities. Because communities are not, they have their own unique issues that do not transcend across the country. And I want to ask you a question. No, I don't want to ask you, I don't want to ask you the question. But let me point out, last week, William Ruto met the Abagusi community in State House. The Kambas were not there. The lawyers were not there. Nobody asked a question. Tomorrow.
Mr. Gachagua.
No, I'm asking.
Mr. Gachagua.
I'm just saying.
Allow me to interject.
Yeah.
I'm speaking with Mr. Gachagua tonight.
I know, I'm just giving
not
an
with
example.
President William Ruto.
I'm just giving an example.
Perhaps when we get to interview him,
I'm just giving an example, Yvonne, that this thing happens everywhere. Tomorrow morning, the president is meeting 5,000 people from Kiambu. The people from Machakos are not there.
So because he does it, then that makes it okay?
Because they are coming to discuss issues that are unique to that region. Okay? So when I went to the United States, I had town hall meetings for all Kenyans put together. And they were full, packed. And we discussed issues to do with Kenya. On the sidelines, community-based organizations in the United States invited me to engage with them about their own issues, their own culture, their own traditions. There are things that do not transcend alongside all communities. When I went to Seattle, I was invited for the Gemi Festival. The Gemi Festival is a musical concert for the Kikuyu nation to dance and sing their songs that are unique to them. I would not have invited other people to come and join in the Gemi Festival because those were Kikuyu songs, people celebrating their culture, their identity, and loving it and singing all the way. But there is no one time I refused to engage all Kenyans. In all my meetings, in all the 7 states I went, I had a good town hall meeting with Kenyans across the board.
All right. A member of the audience, across of those that you met at the United States, even put this very concern to you. I want us to watch this clip together. One of the ladies who was in the audience said that you are positioning yourself more as a tribal chief than a national leader. Mr. Gachagua, let's watch what she had to say. Let's see if we can get that in just a moment. So let's we'll
and
come back to that
I
in a moment.
hope you also play my reply as well.
Well, we're here, so we can hear your reply.
No, it's also good to see what I told her.
But now that, yes, we've seen that. But now that we're here, we're live with you. We will hear the response from you. Let's fix that clip and we'll come back to it in a moment. Now, you may be unapologetic about positioning yourself as a champion of regional interests. But as a person who started off as Kenya Kwanza, Kenya First, are you not concerned that you're now Mount Kenya First, Mount Kenya Kwanza?
I am a Kenyan and I champion the interests of Kenyans. But I do come from somewhere. And those people are Kenyans too. And their interests are also important. And doesn't mean that because I come from there, I should not articulate their interests. I must articulate their interests because I come from there. Much as I articulate the interests of all Kenyans, the people of that region are Kenyans too, and they have their interests, like all other Kenyans. And I'm not alone. All other leaders from other regions articulate the interests of where they come from. It only becomes an issue when the region I come from has issues they want articulated. I have had the Speaker of the National Assembly. I have had the Prime Cabinet Secretary championing the interests of the Western region. I've never had somebody tell them that that is tribal. I have had Aden Duale and the people from the northern Kenya articulating the interests of the people of those regions. And it is right, there is nothing wrong. I support it myself. I've never had anybody tell them it is wrong. You know, I have had people from the Lake region talking about their issues, about the issues of fish, about the issues of how to make sense and to make money out of Lake Victoria. I've never had anybody had an issue. Every region, Yvonne, has unique issues that sometimes do not reflect to other regions. So, and they need to be articulated by people of those regions.
Mr. Gachagua, are you Mount Kenya First?
I'm Kenya First, but I come from Mount Kenya. Because at the end of it all, Yvonne, today you are here interviewing me. When you leave here, you go back home.